Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Marvel Champions. We're currently playing with Captain Marvel and She-Hulk, and we're going to be doing the second villain of the core box set, which is Klaw. So I've already done most of the setup. So underground distribution. The attack on the shield facility has been linked to an underground weapons network. You have to have Klaw 1 and 2 in standard mode, and then you have to have the Klaw and standard encounter set, and then one module encounter set, which is the recommended one is Masters of Evil. So for the module sets, they each kind of have their own theme. Bomb Disposal is kind of just a generic mix. It has like a couple of minions, a side scheme, and then like a couple of like treachery events. Masters of Evil is almost entirely elite minions, so rather tough minions that you have to kind of deal with. And then there's some that don't have any minions whatsoever and are just nasty events that just make things more difficult. So yeah, there's kind of a variety. Also, I wanted to go ahead and I was going to, before I shuffle in the standard encounter set, I did want to go ahead and show it off. It's exactly the same as Rhinos. Like, Advance is exactly the same. The only change is the artwork and the quote. So pretty cool stuff. I do like the additional flavor. Because honestly, they didn't have to do this. They could have just kept the 7 and just passed it around, and then you get to see Rhino's mug for, all 50 or so villains. All right, so yeah, so we got those in. Other thing as part of the setup is you need to search the encounter deck for the Defense Network side scheme and reveal it, and then shuffle the encounter deck. And then advance to 1B. So over here we have Defense Network, side scheme, Klaw's Criminal Enterprise is protected by a gang of hired thugs. So it has 2, and then you place an additional 1 per player, making it 4. That exclamation mark, I think it's called threat, but what that means is while there's anything with threat on it, you cannot remove any. You can't remove, or actually, I don't remember what it's called threat. It's called something else. I think it's called crisis. But in any case, it's what it does is I cannot remove threat from the main scheme until this has been resolved. So I have to deal with Defense Network first before I can do anything about the main scheme. All right, so we'll go ahead and go to 1B. All right, underground distribution. Your investigation reveals that the criminal enterprise is operated by Klaw, an old rival of the Avengers. So it starts at 0, gains 2 per round. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engaged with the first player. Your investigation reveals that the criminal enterprise is... Oh yeah, I already read that. And then it advances at 12. So that's why it says to go ahead and... what does it say here? Yeah, it says it tells you to make sure you shuffle the encounter deck. Because the step for shuffling the encounter deck, I believe, usually happens when you put in the obligations. So yeah. We're going to go ahead and shuffle the encounter deck here. And then reveal cards until we get a minion and put that into play for the first player. As always, the first player is going to... I should have set that before I did any of this, but the first player is always going to be the left mat. All right. Not a minion, not a minion. So one thing to note is right now the obligations are not added into the deck yet. And that is by design. Oh my god, lots of... Masters of Mayhem... Armored Guard. Okay, so we spawn an Armored Guard, and it's going to be engaged with the first player, which is going to be Carol Danvers here. Armored Guard, 0 scheme, 1 attack, has Guard, has 3 health. Mercenary, while this minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain. So the key word is you cannot attack the villain. You can still attack other minions, even if this is active. Also, he has toughness, which means he does start out with a tough. Okay, and then... put that minion into play, engaged with the first player. Okay, so did all that. Then, so set aside obligations. I do need to shuffle the player decks, but I'll just do that when I do the drawing. All right, so I just resolved the scheme setup. So we're going to go ahead and create and shuffle the encounter deck. Shuffle the obligation cards that were set aside into the villain's deck. Yeah, that's all correct. Okay. So obligation, obligation, and shuffle. Okay, good to go there. And then I believe we just go straight into drawing cards and mulligans. All right, shuffle, 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 and draw 6. All right, starting with White Tiger, Energy Absorption, Helicarrier. It's not a bad start. I mean, I can at least play the 2 expensive cards right off the bat. So there's that. And we can also draw a card and potentially do some Honorary Avenger stuff. Okay, we can work with that. Okie dokie. So, and then we'll go ahead and take care of She-Hulk here. Oh, wait, sorry, I need to do mulligans. I completely forgot about mulligan. I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and discard the Honorary Avengers and the Cosmic Flight. Okay. Some of this we won't be able to play immediately, if that's okay. All right. So yeah, with that in mind, actually I can play quite a bit of it. So yeah, that's not actually too bad. It's whether or not I want to do Enhanced Reflexes or Avengers Tower. That's kind of the gist of it. Because having White Tiger would help out a lot. All right. And then for you, I'm going to discard Legal Practice, get rid of Ground Stomp, get rid of Bait and Switch, get rid of What Doesn't Kill Me, get rid of Symbiote Suit, get rid of this. Draw 6 cards. All right. So we can get out Hellcat and we can do the 1-2 punch. Okay, that's something. All right, and then we start. Okay, so for right now, let's go ahead and start with Energy Absorption to play Helicarrier. I'm also going to go ahead and activate Carol Danvers' ability to draw a card. Because I forgot I can do that type of stuff. I am then going to go ahead and switch to Hero Form. I'm going to go ahead and use the Helicarrier to reduce the cost of my next ally. Or no, sorry, I'm going to use it to... yeah, I'm going to use it to reduce the cost of my next card by 1. And I'm going to play Avenger Tower. And then I'll go ahead and exhaust the Avenger Tower to reduce the cost of my next Avenger ally by 1. Oh yeah, I forgot White Tigers cost 3 to get out. That's okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get her out. So when she comes out from play from your hand, you can draw X cards to a maximum of 3, where X is equal to the villain's stage number. If the villain doesn't have a stage number, draw 1 card. So villain's stage number is 1. All right. And then we'll go ahead and draw 1 card with that. Okay, that's perfect. No, that was exactly the card I needed. So I'm going to go ahead and use Strength to get out Enhanced Reflexes, which will start with 3 energy counters. And then I will discard Avengers Assemble to go ahead and get the Triskelion out. All right, pretty strong start. I am going to go ahead and thwart with Captain Marvel to reduce the defense network by 2, and then I'm going to thwart with White Tiger to get rid of it. Okay. So that starting part where we had to discard until we got a minion, that definitely reduced the amount of cards that are in the encounter cards. So there's a good chance we'll end up cycling through it. All right. As for She-Hulk, I'm going to go ahead and use Strength, and then What Doesn't Kill Me to play Hellcat. Hellcat is 2 thwart, 1 attack, has 3 health, and as an action, you can return Hellcat to your hand. Turn around, gentlemen, and meet the Hellcat. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch over to... do I want to switch over? I mean, the 1-2 punch will be nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to go... I don't like switching to a hero form on She-Hulk because, of course, I get less cards. But I'm going to go ahead and use the ability. It's going to do 2 damage. I'm going to use that to get rid of the tough on the advanced guard, or the armored guard. I'm going to go ahead and attack with her and do 3 damage to this guy and kill it. And then I'm going to go ahead as a interrupt. I'm going to play 1-2 punch to ready again, and then I will punch again for 3. Oh yeah, I didn't really talk about Klaw. I apologize. Klaw is a villain, master of evil, has 24 HP or 12 per player, has 0 attack and 2 scheme, and forced interrupt. When Klaw attacks, give him 1 additional boost card for this activation. Come meet your doom. So he only has 0 base attack, but he draws 2 boost cards. So yeah, we get to deal with that nonsense. All right. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and draw cards. So you're going to draw up to 5. Not bad. All right. And then you can ready. And then I'm going to go ahead and discard bait and switch. And get 4 cards. Okay, that's it's not terrible. Okay. Then it goes villain phase. He's going to get 2 threat on the main scheme. Then he's going to attack. It's going after Captain Marvel first. I am not going to defend, so it's going to get 2 boost cards. All right, just +2, so 2 damage in total, and got rid of the obligation there. For She-Hulk, I am going to go ahead and defend. +1. All right, so 1 damage, so it does 0. All right, and then encounter card and encounter card. Radioactive Man. After Radioactive Man attacks you and you discard 1 card at random from your hand. Okay. Also, I'll go ahead and point out in the bottom right, it has an actual red star, 5-pointed star. That means it does a special effect rather than, it does not actually count as a +1, but it does do a special effect. In this case, if it was used as a boost, it would actually force the player to discard a card. Anyway, so yeah, 1 scheme, 1 attack, 7 health. Elite Masters of Evil. So yeah, he is from the Masters of Evil set, like I mentioned. So yeah, elite minions. Then over here, we get Sonic Boom. When revealed, either spend those resources or exhaust each character you control. Okie dokie. I'll exhaust Hellcat. I'm completely okay with that. All right. And then we pass the rock. Okie dokie. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. My turn's going to be easy. I'm going to discard Recuperation to get out Ready to Rumble. You can only have 1 per player active. Hero response, after you change form, discard this card and ready your hero. So essentially you can use this to either after you had to deal with your obligation in Alter Ego, or if you want it after you heal yourself in Alter Ego, and then you could swap and then use this to ready again. Okay, who's next? All right. And then we got, I was just seeing if there's quotes. Okay. I am going to go ahead and use Repurpose to play Limitless Stamina. Play only if your identity has at least 14 printed hit points, which I do. Funny enough, I didn't have to defend earlier. I could have just taken that 1 damage, but I didn't want to risk taking more than 1 damage because then I wouldn't be able to use this. So, what you think this fight is almost over? That was just warm-up practice. So we'll go ahead and discard this, or play this, sorry, to ready. And then I'm going to punch Radioactive Man for 3. And then I'll switch to Alter Ego. Alright, goes to Captain Marvel. So I'll go ahead and use Enhanced Reflexes to get an energy and use that to use her ability to heal for 1 and draw a card. Okie dokie. Okay, you might want to do it that way for now. All right. I will go ahead and discard Crisis Interdiction. Actually, no. I will use Helicarrier to reduce the next card I play by 1 and put out Alpha Flight Station. I am going to go ahead and thwart with Captain Marvel and reduce this back down to 0. And then I am going to go ahead and go to hero form. And then I'm going to use her ability to draw a card. Okay. I am going to go ahead and discard using Alpha Flight Station, Crisis Interdiction, to draw 2 cards. Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and use Genius to play Maria Hill. When she comes out into play, everyone draws 1 card. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use this Power of Leadership to play Squirrel Girl, which will do 1 damage to every enemy. So 1 damage to you, 1 damage to you. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this energy. So I do have 4 slots because it's Triskelion here. And play Ironheart. When she comes out into play, I draw a card. Alright, all these are not Avengers, so I can't get the extra thing from this. Oh, I did make a mistake. It did make a difference. No, it wouldn't have made a difference. Okay. Oh, actually, no, it would have made a difference. Oh well. Yeah, I could have reduced the cost to Squirrel Girl by 1, which means I wouldn't need to use Power of Leadership. Instead, I could have discarded a lead from the front. But honestly, it still would not change the result. I'd still only get 1 of these out at a time. All right. So, yeah, with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and discard Hawkeye and lead from the front to play a lead from the front. So I'll go ahead and give +1/+1 to everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and use that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and have White Tiger do 3 damage to Radioactive Man and kill him, which in turn will kill White Tiger. And then everyone else will just hit for 2 damage, for a total of 6. Yeah, this lead from the front is no joke once you have a lot of minions out. All right, not terrible. We're going to get schemed a bunch, but that's completely kind of okay at this point. So one thing to note here is the Forced Interrupt only applies for attacks, not schemes. But he does have 2 base schemes, so he's still a pain in that front. All right, we'll go ahead and ready up and discard. I'm going to go ahead and discard the Limitless Stamina and then draw 6. Oop. Have to deal. There we go. All right, not too shabby. We do get out the Focus Rage, a Night Nurse. Yeah, it's going to probably end up being something like that. All right, and then for you, ready up. She's almost already through her deck. So yeah, this is only the 2nd time I've played where I've actually known about the rule of drawing a counter card when you cycle through your deck, so this will be interesting. Okay, and yeah, and I have strength in numbers as well. Holy cow! All right, we'll go ahead and go straight to enemy phase. He's going to gain. So I am in. I do have a. I object, so I'm only going to gain 1 threat, and then he's going to scheme. So we'll start with She-Hulk +2, and there goes the other obligation. That's nice. All right, so that's 4 in total. As you can see, it's already adding up. And then over here, boost. Give the villain a tough status card. So he gets tough and just does 2. All right, 7 out of 12 now. All right, encounter card, draw. Villain schemes. An impressive war cry, except one doesn't win a war by slogans, but with a cool head and a steady hand. All right, deal a boost card. All right, that is +4, so it's at 11 out of 12. This might get ugly fast. Masters of Evil. The Masters of Evil have arrived to attack the heroes. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a Masters of Evil is discarded. Put that minion into play, engaged with the first player. So this is going to be 3 per player, so it has 6. It also has an acceleration icon. So we discard until we get a Masters of Evil. Not Masters of Evil. That's a Mercenary. Mercenary. Shadows the Past, goodbye that. Masters of Evil. Engaged. The engaged player must defend against Meteor's attack with an ally they control if able. Melter. 5 health, 3 attack, 1 scheme. And he's engaged with us now. Okay. Yeah, so even though Carol Danvers was the one that drew it, it specifically says goes to the first player, which is this guy, which is currently Jennifer Walters. Okay, now we pass the rock. Okie dokie. So yeah, 11 threats on a 12 threat main scheme right now. There is multiple steps, so we can try to do something about that. So I'm going to start with Carol Danvers here. I'm going to draw a card with her ability. I am then going to go ahead and use her Alpha Flight Station to discard Crisis Interdiction and draw 2 cards. Okay. Just thinking how I want to do this. You are an Avenger. So actually I can do this. I'll use Avenger Tower and Helicarrier and discard one of these strengthened numbers to get out Spider-Woman. When Spider-Woman comes out of play, confuse the villain. That will help. Alright. Then I'm going to go ahead and I can draw 4 cards, which is certainly an option. But I might end up just doing, well, I'm definitely going to thwart with Spider-Woman. I'll reduce this by 2. Actually, ooh, Masters of Evil. I mean, it by itself doesn't do anything now besides just acceleration. So I can reduce that by 2. I can go ahead and get rid of Maria Hill to do another 2. Then I'll go ahead and do strength in numbers. Exhaust these 2 to draw 2 cards. Okay, those aren't helpful. Then I'm going to flip to Captain Marvel, and then I'm going to use a charge from this to heal 1 damage and draw a card. Okay. Well, fortunately, the power of leadership here is not going to be that useful. All right. I'm going to go ahead and discard Captain Marvel's helmet, Crisis Interdiction, Strength in Numbers, and Power of Leadership. Actually, sorry, we'll do this in a different order. Captain Marvel's helmet, Strength in Numbers, Photonic Blast, and the other Photonic Blast. So that's 4, right? Yeah, that's 4 there, and I'll use that to play Avengers Mansion. Then I will draw a card using Avengers Mansion, choose a player, that player draws 1 card. I'm just seeing if there's anything else I can do with that. Actually, I'll choose, I'm going to choose Jennifer Walters to draw a card. Did you remember to turn off the stove? Good to know. Yeah, make her draw a card, and then I'm going to go ahead and play Energy Channel. And then I'm going to use this Wild and this Energy to put 2 counters on this thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and thwart with Captain Marvel. Get this down to 5. All right. So right now, if I stay as is, it's going to gain 2. It's going to gain 2, 3, and possibly up anywhere from. The worst case scenario is if it could be 5 scheme from this guy. Actually, no, confused. Okay, we're good for this round. We're okay for this round because this guy, if I stay in Ultra Ego, then he's not going to. He won't go for anything I have. All right. So I'll go ahead and get to work here. I'm going to use an energy and a legal or a repurpose. Actually, I'll use a repurpose to get out focused rage. I'm going to go ahead and discard legal practice to get out downtime. So this is we should do this more often. You can put it into play in any player's control, and that alter ego will get +2 recovery. So now I have 7 recovery. Then I'll go ahead and discard 1/2 punch to get out Night Nurse. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and thwart with Hellcat for 2. And then this will do a damage. And unfortunately, this thing can only heal heroes. It can't heal allies, so no worries on that front. All right, and then, yeah, that's going to be it. I can't use the Focus Rage because I have to be in hero form. I can definitely kill Melter very easily, but I rather wait for this round. Okay, so that is everything. We'll go ahead and Captain Marvel is going to draw 5 cards. And then ready cards. And then you can draw 6 cards. Gamma Slam, Ground Stomp. Okay, Superhuman Law Division, that's going to be useful. Okay, that means we can actually keep this threat under control. Alright, and then you guys can ready. Alright, and then it goes to villain phase, so it's going to be +2 because there's 2 players, and then +1 because of the acceleration, and then it's going to be -1 because of I object, so it's going to go 2. Alright, then it goes to attacking Captain Marvel. I'll go ahead and let it go through because I want to actually take some damage. So 2 boost cards because he's attacking this time. Okay, and this. Okay. So it's going to do 0 damage, and then the boost is going to deal 1 damage to each hero. Jennifer Walters is an alter ego, so she's not in hero form. So I take 1 damage from this, from the boost effect, and then this thing is just going to put a weapons runner into play engaged with you. So the surge effect does not happen because it's not being revealed. It's being put into play. So we're good to go on that front. So yeah, and then the stars themselves don't actually do a +1. So yeah, his attack actually did 0, but the boost did 1. So that's actually good because I wanted to at least take 1 damage. Then he's going to scheme on Jennifer Walters, which this confusion will soak. And then Melcher is going to scheme for 1. So we're up to 6. All right. And then the weapon runner, nothing too special. He has 2 health and it's for 1 and 1. He's a mercenary. Okay, then we pass the rock. Okay, with all that said and done, let's get to work. I'm going to go ahead and scheme, or not scheme, I'm going to thwart with Hellcat. Try to keep that under control. Then I'm going to discard Repurpose to play Superhuman Law Division. I'm then going to go ahead and exhaust Superhuman Law Division and discard Gamma Slam to reduce this by 2. And I'm going to go ahead and discard Ground Stomp and Energy Barrier to play my Energy Barrier, which will get 3. All right. And I think that's going to be it. I think I'm going to still stay in Alter Ego. I mean, if I switch out, I can kill Melter, but that's not a huge deal. Yeah, I think we're okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started with Captain Marvel here. Captain Marvel is going to use energy absorption to play Photonic Blast and deal 5 damage to an enemy. I'll kill Melter and draw a card. Alright, I do get an encounter card because I have to shuffle through my deck. Or reshuffle my deck, rather. Alright. I can't get out the other energy channel because it's max 1 per player. I will go ahead and use this last energy counter to use my ability to heal for 1 and draw a card. I'll go ahead and use the Avenger Tower to play Stinger. He's just she's 1 in 1 with 2 health. And she doesn't actually count against the ally limit. I'll go ahead and use Power of Leadership and Cosmic Flight. Actually, before we do any of that, I'll go ahead and use Avengers Mansion to draw a card. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and attack with Stinger and get rid of his tough. I'm going to go ahead and use Helicarrier. And Energy Channel to get out my other combat reflexes. All right. I'm then going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and punch Weapons Runner and get rid of him. Actually, no. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Get rid of him. I am then going to go ahead and use a charge from Enhanced Reflexes. And Proof of Leadership and Cosmic Flight to put 3 counters on Energy Channel. And then I'm going to sacrifice said Energy Channel for 10 damage, putting him down to 4. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and thwart with Spider Woman. Get this down to 2, or get this down to 0. And I think that's it. I'm not going to, I could go Alter Ego. It would have been 2. But yeah, with the encounter cards and stuff, I think I'm going to wait. I'll stay as is and see what happens. All right, that is everybody. So we'll go ahead and draw up to 6 for Jennifer Walters here. And then I'm going to go ahead and discard Photonic Blast and draw 5. All right, good thing I kept some of my allies alive. Okay, this might do some interesting things. Okay. Let's go to enemy phase. He's going to get 3 threat, which is going to become 2 because of I object. Then he's going to scheme against Jennifer Walters. Put weapons around. Okay, he's going to get engaged with us, and he's going to get 2 from here because he has 2 scheme. Then it goes to actually to the minion. So this guy's going to scheme for 1. And then I'm going to get 2 boost cards because I'm being attacked. Also, we're going through the deck. So when you shuffle the encounter deck, you add an acceleration token. So now we're going to get 4 per round, 3 with Jennifer Walters. All right. Deal boost card. All right, what do we got? 0 and 1, so it does 1 whole damage. All right. Then we deal encounter card and encounter card. Masters of Mayhem. Each Masters of Evil minion attacks the hero if it is engaged. If no attacks are made this way, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Masters of Evil minion and put it into play engaged with you. Then shuffle the encounter deck. Okay. So I search for any Master of Evil. I'll take Melter. Because I can at least kill him. Alright. And then for you, the Immortal Klaw. He gets 10 more HP. And of course, this is another acceleration token. So we might need to deal with the side schemes at this point. Alright. Klaw's Mastery of Sound allows him to restore his solid form through sheer power of will. Okie dokie. If we do take out this side scheme, he does lose 10 HP. For what it's worth. Alright, and then for this, Family Emergency, I'll go ahead and flip. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to ready. Yeah, I should be readied right now. Alright, I'll go ahead and flip to Alter Ego, and I will exhaust and remove this from the game. Okay. Not a bad thing. Alright, and then we pass the rock. Okay. So first things first, Carol Danvers, I'm going to use you to draw a card. I'm going to go ahead and discard Captain Marvel's helmet with Alpha Flight Station and draw 2 cards. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use Avengers Mansion and then draw another card. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and use Strengthen Numbers and exhaust Ironheart, Squirrel Girl, and Stinger to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. All right. I have Stinger, so I definitely have a slot open. I'll go ahead and exhaust Avenger's Tower and Helicarrier, and use Crisis Interdiction to play White Tiger. We draw 1 card from her. All right. I will then I'm going to go ahead and use I'm going to go ahead and just use Strengthen Numbers and exhaust her to draw a card. All right. I am then going to go ahead and flip the hero form. I'm going to go ahead and use an energy from this to heal 1 damage and draw a card. So this is what happens when you have the engine running, I guess you can say. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use both these energy absorptions to play both these at Photonic Blast. So that's going to do 10 damage. And I draw 2 cards. All right. All right, what do we have now? So we need these. All right, let's go ahead and use an energy and a strength to play Avengers Assemble. So all Avengers characters. Oh, actually, sorry, before I do that, very important. I'm going to go ahead and play Honorary Avenger. I do have the Avenger trait this time, so I can put it on her. Attached to a friendly character, attached character gets +1 HP and gains the Avenger trait. So now Ironheart is an Avenger and has 3 health. Okay, so with that, now I'll do this. So I can now ready all Avenger characters. That includes the Honorary Avenger. And they all have +1/+1 now. And then I'm going to discard Lead from the Front and Strengthen Numbers to play Lead from the Front. And now all characters I control have another +1/+1. So that is the state we're in right now. Okay, so with that in mind, I can hit for 4 damage. So I'm going to go ahead and punch with White Tiger for 4 damage. We'll go ahead and advance. All right. So it's going to have 36 HP plus 10 for the Immortal Claw, so 46 HP. Okay. Then I'm going to use Squirrel Girl to thwart for 3. I'll use Stinger to thwart for 3. Get rid of this, so now he doesn't have that extra HP. I'll thwart with Ironheart. And she has an extra HP, so she doesn't die immediately. I'll do it on the Masters of Evil. Then I'll thwart with Captain Marvel for 4. Getting this down to 1. Actually, let's do it the other way. So I'll do thwarting with Ironheart to get this down to 2, and then get this down to 2 with Captain Marvel instead. So it's 2 and 2 now. All right. That was Captain Marvel's turn, and I've almost cycled through the deck a second time already. So, let's go ahead and go with Jennifer Walters here. Whew, how are we going to do this? Well, one thing I can definitely do right now is I can thwart with Hellcat to get rid of this. Okay. That puts things a little bit more under our control now. Alright, and then of course these are resolved, by the way. Alright, then... Oh, you know what I didn't realize about the Avengers Assemble? Is so lead from the front is each character that player controls, but Avengers Assemble is for everybody. So technically I didn't need to go the way I did. So I did waste a thwart here with Hellcat, because it would have done 3. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and get to work. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to hero form. I'll do 2 damage to Melter. I'm then going to go ahead and I'm going to take a damage with Focus Rage to draw a card. Okay. Then I'm going to discard Energy Barrier. I have to discard Focus Rage. Focus Rage. Actually, I don't have to discard Focus Rage. We can do Energy Barrier, Superhuman Strength, 1-2 Punch. Actually, we'll do Preservation. Yeah, Energy Barrier, Superhuman Strength, Preservation. And when you use Preservation, you heal a damage. And I'll use that to play Quinn Carrier. Okay, I can only play this while I'm an Avenger, so that's why I had to do it this way. And then I'm going to go ahead and punch for 4 to kill this Melter. Then I'll use the Quinn Carrier, Focus Rage, and 1-2 Punch to do Split Personality, so I can flip to my Identity card, and then draw up to my hand size. 1, 2, 3. We're going to get an encounter card because we're cycling through our deck. Okay. And then I'm just seeing what I can do here. So I can get out Superhuman Strength for the future. We definitely want the Focus Rage. Oh yeah. Well, actually, no, we can't use Focus Rage because we can get it out. We can't use it. Do I risk it? Yeah, I think we can risk it. I mean, it can get very... Oh, also, I didn't really talk about the new form of Klaw. So, really the only difference was he spawned that one side scheme, and he now has +1 attack. And of course, he has more HP. Yeah, I really want to use the Super Law Division, but I think I can afford this. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use all 3 of these to get out Focused Rage. And then I'll use Genius to get out Superhuman Strength for the future. Okay, we'll go ahead and discard and draw. I'm going to discard Hawkeye. Ready everything. And it should be only 5. Yep. And then you can ready, and then you're going to draw 6. All right. Okay, first things first, it's going to add threat to the scheme. So in this case, it's going to be Jennifer Walters is going to I object. So it's going to be 3 plus, or it's going to be 2 plus 1, then minus 1. So 2 in total. All right, and then Captain Marvel is going to get punched. I will just let it happen. 1, 2, 3. So it does a total of 4 damage. And then I'm going to get schemed upon. Plus 2, so it does 4. He's going to scheme for 1. All right, encounter card, and then encounter card. Villain attacks me again. I am going to go ahead and use Ironheart to block it. So boost card, boost card. Plus 2, plus, yeah, this would have done 5 damage. So this definitely kills Ironheart. I think that was a good call there. All right, and then we got Klaw's Vengeance. As an alter ego, discard 1 card at random from your hand. All right, there is a discard card button, but it's based off the current player's hand, so we'll do that and discard a random card. There we go. And then the other card, discard another random card. Cool. That's very good, because yeah, we were on the verge there. If it had been something like he schemes or whatever, that would have been it. But discarding a random card also sucks, but could have been a lot worse. All right, pass the rock. Okay. As you can see, the threat just kind of gets out of control. I'm going to go ahead and use Quinn Carrier to get a wild and use that wild to do Superhuman Law Division and get this reduced by 2. Then yeah, I think I will go ahead and go hero form. I'll do 2 damage and I'll kill the weapons runner. I will go ahead and use Night Nurse, use a charge of her to go ahead and heal Captain Marvel for 1. And then I will go ahead and take a damage with Focused Rage to draw a card. All right. I'm going to go ahead and punch Klaw for 5 with Superhuman Strength. So it's going to do 5 damage and stun him. And then I will go ahead and discard this Repurpose to play Limitless Stamina, because I have at least 14 HP to ready me. I will then go ahead and take a damage to play to draw a card with the other Focus Rage. All right. I'm then going to go ahead and punch for 3. And then I'm going to discard a bait and... Or, sorry, I'm not going to discard a bait and switch. I'm going to go ahead and discard my bait and switch, both my bait and switches for what doesn't kill me. Oh, sorry, I can't do it that way. So this thing has a requirement. It costs 2, but one of the resources I have to spend has to be a strength icon. When I get out of here, you're going to get it. So I'm going to discard 1-2 punch and bait and switch to play what doesn't kill me. So this will heal 2 damage and ready my hero. So I'll go back up to 15 and ready. And then I will proceed to punch him again for 3. Putting him at 25. All right. And then that's unfortunately all I can do. Oh, actually, I can do an ask if I really want to. But I think we're okay. I have ways of getting rid of the scheme. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and have Captain Marvel go next. So Captain Marvel, I'm going to go ahead and spend this last energy to draw a card. Okay, we got a Genius. I'll go ahead and use the Avengers Mansion to draw another card. And this is, of course, going to give me another encounter card. Okay. We did get Maria Hill. I'm going to go ahead and use this Power of Leadership because it provides 2 if it's a leadership card, and Maria Hill is a leadership. So play leader that. When she comes out in play, both of us will draw a card. All right. I will go ahead and thwart with Maria Hill, reducing that by 2. I will go ahead and make White Tiger an honorary Avenger. She's already an Avenger, but I'm just doing this so she can get +1 health. So now she can thwart again without killing herself. All right. Then I'm just seeing what I can do here. I'll go ahead and have Captain Marvel thwart for 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and have her flip. And then I'll use her ability to draw a card. I'm going to go ahead and use Avenger Tower to reduce the cost of the next Avenger ally I play by 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Alpha Flight Station to discard Crisis Interdiction and draw 2 cards. Okay. And then I'm going to use Helicarrier to reduce the next cost by 1, and then use Genius to get out Spider-Woman. So I have 4 slots. Also, Stinger doesn't take a slot, so I'm good on that front. Spider-Woman comes into play, so it inflicts confusion. Then I will go ahead and do Strengthen Numbers and exhaust both these characters to draw 2 cards. And unfortunately, it's a swing and a miss. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, because yeah, these are hero actions. I'll go ahead and discard these 2 to play Cosmic Flight. So what this does is it gives our aerial. There's a few cards that we have that do some extra stuff with aerial trait. I think it's just Crisis Interdiction, to be honest. I can also use this to prevent damage if I need to. But this is actually be kind of useful if we end up getting side schemes again. But besides that, unfortunately, I had 2 cards left over that I can't really put to use. Okay. So that is everybody. So we'll go ahead and go to She-Hulk. We'll ready everything. I am going to go ahead and discard both cards. And then draw 4. Sorry about that. Should be over here. And then I am going to go ahead and discard. I do kind of want to keep the Photonic Blast, but yeah, I'll discard everything. And then draw 6. I'm already down to 13 cards, and I haven't even resolved the encounter card I got from this. All right. But we got the lead from the fronts, as well as a strength in numbers. So yeah, we might be in a good spot soon. All right. So we'll go ahead and resolve the threat. It's going to gain 3 because the 1 acceleration token. Then its Klaw is going to attack She-Hulk, which is just going to be resolve the stunned. Then he's going to scheme against Carol Danvers, which will resolve the confusion. And then we deal an encounter card and an encounter card. We get Whirlwind, Master of Evil, 6 health, 1 scheme to attack. When Whirlwind attacks you, also resolve his attack against each other hero. Keyword being hero. So if you're an alter ego, you're safe. He's just annoying because he has 6 health. Alright, and then over here we have, when revealed, discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards were discarded this way, this card gains Surge. Listen for it. Soon you will hear everyone you love scream. So I'm actually going to get rid of one of my enhanced reflexes that are out of charges. Alright, and then the other thing is Gang Up. Hero. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. It's alter ego. No one will dare to oppose us, but my plan will work only if we are truly united. Alright, so this gains Surge, so we do draw another encounter card. And resolve it. Advance. The villain does scheme. Okay, boost card. Discard 1 card at random. Well, it sucks to lose that, but that's alright. And then he just adds 2 to the main scheme there. Alright, pass the rock. Alright, so far, so good. So, let's draw a card with Carol Danvers' ability. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Alpha Flight Station to discard Helmet to draw 2 cards because I'm in Carol mode. This is all the stuff I'm hoping for. Avenger, Shield, Avenger. So Stinger does not take a slot, so we can get that out. Okay, I'm going to use Avenger Tower plus Helicarrier to play Squirrel Girl for free. It's going to do 1 damage to each enemy, so 1 damage to you, 1 damage to you. Alright. I'm then going to draw a card with Avengers Mansion. Okay. Trying to find all the ways I can make this work. Obviously, strength in numbers could let me get a bunch of cards, but I can also use them. I can also try to use them all for other things. So yeah, with this, I can draw 4 cards with that, and then use Avengers Assemble to get everybody up and running again. And if I can get both the leader from the fronts active, that would also be nice. I'm just wondering if it's better to try to do the other things, but I don't think I don't have enough resources to do everything. So that's the situation. So yeah, we'll do strength in numbers. I'm gonna exhaust Stinger, White Tiger, Spider Woman, and Squirrel Girl. Just the Avengers. Draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we're gonna do the following. So I need. So I'm just getting out the amount I need. So this will take care of Avengers Assemble. Okay, I have exactly enough. Cool. So yeah, I'm discarding 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and using that to play lead from the front, 2 leads from the fronts, and an Avengers Assemble. But before I do that, I'll keep these 4 cards in my hand for now. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to Captain Marvel. I'm going to play 2 lead from the front. So that's going to be +1 for everybody. Then I will go ahead and punch for 4. Then I'll pay the 4 cards to do Avengers Assemble and get everyone active again. And then the Avengers will get +1/+1. So all the Avengers have +3/+3, and then Maria Hill has only +2/+2. So I'm going to go ahead and punch for 5 with Captain Marvel. I'm going to go ahead and punch for 4 with Squirrel Girl. I'm going to go ahead and punch for 5 with Spider-Woman. I'm going to go ahead and punch for 4 with Stinger. And thank you for your service, Maria Hill. I will do 3 damage and finish off this. And there you go. And there's no limit for the lead from the front. So let's go, everyone. And then the only thing that's limited is Avengers Assemble, which it costs 4 anyway, so good luck trying to get all of it out anyway. And yeah, as far as the number of allies we had 5, but Stinger doesn't take a slot, and we did have 1 extra slot thanks to Triskelion. And also, once Maria Hill dies, we actually have a 5th slot again, because everything's an Avenger at that point. But yeah, and then even then, I still had White Tiger, who could have hit for 5 damage. And then I could have had She-Hulk go and do another 5 damage at least, assuming I didn't, draw even more stuff with Focused Rage. So, yeah, pretty good stuff. All right, yeah, that's it. That's nothing else. We defeated Klaw. Definitely like how crazy. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of decks that revolve around where just getting you want to spend some time getting as many upgrades and support cards as possible, and then kind of go nuts. We definitely cycled through the deck. Was it Captain Marvel went through, 2 times? And I think She-Hulk went through once. I was wondering how difficult it would be with those extra encounter cards, and it wasn't too bad, honestly. It definitely can get hectic. Like, it could always lead to more Masters of Evil, or worse, get your Shadows of the Past and start getting blasted by your Nemesis. We did get our obligations a lot as boost cards, which is actually pretty devastating because it's +2. But it was better than drawing it normally because that would exhaust us. But yeah, Klaw is definitely very interesting. The double boosting sometimes just can still whiff, but it usually when it whiffs, it usually has at least boost effects like discarding cards and things like that. We discarded a lot of cards from Radioactive Man. And then his 2 scheme just makes it really, really difficult for you to just stay in Ultra Ego. We definitely cut it really close to advancing this thing, which I don't even know what exactly it does. Honestly, it's not too bad. It would have spawned a minion, it looks like. Some of them can get really, really bad, with Ultron, which, speaking of, since we defeated Klaw, the next one we're going to be doing is the last one for the core set, which is going to be Ultron. I did make a rules mistake while fighting him, besides the not drawing, adding in encounter cards whenever you cycle through your deck, but his second his second main scheme was supposed to be I treated it as if it was 1 player rather than 2 player, and so I ended up advancing it twice as fast. He's a very, very scary guy. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, I am The Depressed Viewer. This was Marvel Champions with Captain Marvel and She-Hulk versus Klaw. And next we'll be going up against Ultron. I'll see you then.